Alright guys, welcome back. I haven't been uploading since a while, but I've started playing again with 1.8 and I thought it was time to just put out some build videos. You know, the global events, most of them are finished. We have now bi-weekly global events, I believe, and it has gotten really easy to get some good gear if you farm during these events. And one of the better ways to farm is obviously to have an optimized build to farm, which in itself also takes some farming. But today I'm going to be showing you my striker PvE build, which is nothing special really. Maybe it has a couple twists that I added that you wouldn't really find in other builds, but all in all the general idea is the same. Just stack up on more damage, and in PvP we're fighting against enemies with armor, we're fighting against NPCs that are elites, so damage to elites and enemy armor damage are what we're going to stack in the build. But still, I'm going to make it pretty comprehensive and I'll try to go over everything. Some of the things or weapons I have are not really optimal. I'm trying to replace them, so I'll show you what I've been trying to replace so you can adapt as well. Anyways, I'm using 6-piece classified striker with 2 M4s and a sidearm that doesn't really matter. Starting from the chest piece, obviously, stat distributions are as you see, just above 6k stamina, and then everything into firearms. We got a bit lower stats because we're using purple mods for damage to elites purposes. So, on the chest piece, we got enemy armor damage and health on kill, and then ammo capacity. You could argue that you should go like health or anything here, but you kill a lot of enemies with this build, and health on kill really helps with that sustain. So enemy armor damage and health on kill on the chest piece is pretty good. Moving on, we have on the mask, we got enemy armor damage and damage to elite as expected. On the knee pads again, we have 4% enemy armor damage, which is a really low roll, but since you stack all of this enemy armor damage up, why not just get it here as well? There aren't many great options here either. And then 16% damage to elites on the miner as well, pretty solid. Now on the backpack, this is something that's a little different. I use stability. So the options here are like skill power, health, and 9% crit damage, which all doesn't really do that much, but stability actually does a lot for our M4s in PvE scenarios where we just shoot a lot, especially we're shooting at long range as well with this M4. And at those situations I find stability to be really helpful. So stability on the backpack, then on the gloves we have enemy armor damage, critical hit chance, and assault rifle damage. Pretty good. Maybe you can swap the crit chance for I don't know, for like health on kill here as well. If you have like a guy running with high skill power pulse, but still I think it's pretty good to have that crit chance here. 6% is not too little. Now on the holster though, instead of the crit chance or anything else, I went with reload speed, because reload speed, although it's not really good in PvP, but in PvE you pretty much shoot all the time, especially with this build, and you don't want to spend half of your time just reloading your magazine. So reload speed actually increases our sustained DPS a lot, and this is going to combine really well with the reload speed we have on the holster as well. So overall it's going to be a pretty slick build. So not on the holster, but on the grip. So let's take a look at our weapons. We are running a lightweight M4. This is our main damage weapon with responsive, destructive, and ferocious. This is basically god roll for damage. If you want, you could swap out responsive here and go for predatory if you want to get more damage, but you should also always have a secondary M4 with determined in the free slot so you can farm your ult back after you use it. So I use this weapon when I don't have my ult on cooldown, and I use this one when I have my ultimate, signature ability on cooldown to farm it back up. So it has vicious and responsive. Ideally it would have destructive responsive determined, but I don't have that role as of now. So we're running with these ones. Overall with this build I'm also using mods. Let's take a look at those. We are using stamina mods with 3% damage to leads. I wasn't around when the 4% damage to leads mods were on sale, so we are only stuck with 3%, which means we are losing about 5% damage to elites here, which doesn't really make a difference. So overall we are running with 53% damage to elites and 80% enemy armor damage, and also performance mods don't really matter with this build. Seriously, you don't even need to equip any performance mods. um, I usually run with the sticky flash and the station just to pop it off for burst heals. Comes in handy sometimes, you know, it depends on the group composition, you can mess around with the skills. As far as talents, I always like critical save. In group scenarios, I mean combat medic could be nice, but I don't really like it that much. Um, Perhaps I'm a little selfish of a player, but the critical saving on the move, since I kill a lot of enemies while also moving, um, they can give you some extra resistance if you are ever in a clutchy situation. Then precision is really good because it gives you a lot more crit chance and crit damage, as it pulses the enemies, and the value of that is a lot higher than your own pulse. Just keep that in mind. Um, Precision is pretty good in that regard. Then we're using the one is none, so I just only go for headshots in PvE anyways. So using this actually um, gives me a lot of effective magazine. Like sometimes a few of my bullets not consumed increase my mag size potentially to like 70, 80, which is pretty good in that overall sustained DPS area. So that was pretty much the build. Catch you guys in the next video.